I am really excited for this today. I want to cover today a topic that I've seen quite a lot, but it's not spoken about as much, which is the concept of almost like experiencing patterns of people who are not sure about being with you, people who want you but don't act on it, who need to think about it, who need to push, where you are hoping that maybe a friend or a member who likes you and who supports it would, speak to this person on your behalf and push them, and or maybe if you post this on their story, it will compel them, things like that. So I want us to look at where is this coming from, what is this showing us about our self-concept, and what do we need to shift to. So obviously, for one, this is a mirror of your own wavering. When you're negotiating your standards, when you say that you won't accept being the second option, but you are actually second option and you're entertaining that and trying to explain to your SP why it's not okay to have you and someone else at the same time. When you are waiting for proof to feel certain about this person's feelings about you and your own relationship manifesting and succeeding, right? When you're being back and forth with your standards, with the needing for a proof, with the doubting, what this is echoing is, am I doing this right? Is this going to work? Am I really this woman now? Do I know how to embody? And this shows up as men who reflect oh, I don't know if I want this. You know? The ones who hesitate, the one who stall, the one who needs to think about it, who keeps pulling away the moment that you're getting close. Of course, this is linked to vulnerability as well, and we spoke about this a few times. But all in all, I want you to really look at like the fact that you are almost projecting your own lack of certainty onto this person, and then you're expecting them to change for you to be certain when you are the one who's projecting your own uncertainty onto your own manifestation, but you still want your own manifestation to make you feel a certain way. And that in itself keeps you in this loop of like, I'm not sure what if this and what if that, and will it work out? And obviously creates that version of your relationship, right? Or where someone loves you but doesn't act on it. We're done with that. We're done with these, pardon me, bimbo dudes. We're not the people who get to experience these patterns anymore. Okay? So in order for you to experience any shift, and again I said it many times with my own journey, what it really took is for me to be certain about this person's certainty about me, about my certainty that this will be right, that this won't go wrong. Because the other thing here that tends to happen is a lot of times we're worried that, you know, what if I get this and then we break up, or I get this and it turns out to be toxic, like the other relationship where I lose myself in the relationship, or it's not as good as I thought, or we won't have anything to talk about after the first few dates. So it's all of these elements. You can see how much pressure you're already putting on the relationship before it even starts. What if I mess up again? What if they see this and then they leave me? So you're already saying you're not sure about me and I'm not sure about me. So I want you to imagine this as like a telephone conversation. Every single thought you have is like a telephone conversation. Everything you're telling this person on the phone. I want you, but I think you'll leave. I want you, but I'm not sure. I want you, but I think you'll be toxic. Now, if somebody says this to you, how would this make you feel? Exactly. So that's what you're communicating with your SP, and he is replying to your message, to your phone call, to that medium of communication by being back and forth, by not moving towards you despite you knowing that you're made for each other. So you can see here it's all you. You need to stop blaming the other person. When we say boundaries, we're not saying blame the other person. We're saying obviously you have to deal with it while it's in front of you, but lovingly shut the F up about it. Shut the F up about it. You are still the one who is manifesting all of this. You're still the common denominator of that manifestation, right? So if you are the common denominator, then it makes zero sense to try to change somebody else but yourself. So, usually the women who experience that lack of certainty, or the wavering, or the back and forth, this is usually the woman who feels the need to convince, that she has to convince somebody, or she's hoping that he gets this like epiphany and realizes it's been you all along, or that, if you have a mutual friend, or I don't know, however you met, that this person talks to them and convinces them. It's like you're already saying this person needs convincing. This is the man that needs a push. And by default, you manifest a version of this man who is not ready, who needs a push, who isn't sure about you, who's this, who's that. The woman who waits. If this is not feeling like a full body yes relationship, then you have two things to look at. Is this the person that I really want to be with, or do I just want to say yes just because it's triggering me to look at this question? Just because I've been doing this for a while. Do I or do I not want this? And whatever the answer is, it's okay. Okay, so let's say the answer is yes. So that means you need to shift from the one who convinces, waits, negotiates, expects lack of clarity, not knowing where you both stand, to the woman who is a full body yes. The woman who knows that any part of you that you show will be accepted, and that he will continue to feel strongly about you, and that he's not going to pull away and think about it. That you don't even have to change a hair on your head. You can literally pull your hairline 4 inches back, and this person's still gonna see you as the most incredible person. And it's really also about like looking at the fact that, are you really certainty led with your self concept? In the other areas of your life where you are showing up with certainty, where you are showing up with leadership, are you leading that way with this manifestation? Or do you feel like it's almost like you have to audition for love, convince, push? And when it's not convincing SP, it's like, oh, I want to convince my subconscious. It's still the woman who needs permission. It's still the woman that needs something or somebody to say yes to her. And your conscious awareness is so powerful, you have used it many times to manifest money, to manifest any experience that you wanted on the go, without spending months and months and months worrying about if it's in your subconscious and if this dreams signifies that. So when you are faced with an uncertain situation, somebody who's not sure about you, how do we go from there, right? The first thing here is we're not going to collapse into overfunctioning, which is explaining, mothering, convincing, guiding, proving. The second thing here is the mindset of this indecision is not the deciding factor of my reality. This indecision was my old self concept, and now I'm choosing to be the deciding factor. And then from there, really tap into the feeling of certainty. It's also going to really take you looking at like, what things are you certain that someone would, or are you doubting, or you think would be reasons why somebody would not accept you, where somebody would change their mind about you, or somebody would pull away, or somebody would feel like they're not good enough for you, that they need to think about it. What is it that you think somebody needs to think about? And then when you list all of these things, let's say, I don't know, if it's a traditional thing that the family won't approve. Cool. So that shows you're still tied to family approval, that you're still seeking your family's yes, and it's probably showing up in different ways, like you feeling ashamed of sharing where you are financially, right? Things like that. So, the woman who is already chosen, the woman who doesn't need to worry about this, how does she approach this differently? What is her self concept? Like, probably she never thinks that, like, how could anybody need to stay away from me? Like, I'm the one thing that makes sense for him, to him. So it's really like, get your body on board with that. So when you're feeling that wobble, it's like you almost need to come back to center, back to the clarity, back to the decision, and get really clear on, do I still want this person? If we were to put aside circumstances, do I still want this person? Yes. Okay. Where am I mirroring my own uncertainty about myself? Is it the fact that maybe I'm afraid of getting hurt again in a relationship? Is there something that I think will fall apart or will unfold after I let this person in, after things are good for a while? Because this is what's creating that lack of certainty, where you are secretly hoping that this thing gets accepted. So you see how all of this work goes back to like really bringing all of these parts of you together, you truly being okay with it, accepting it without feeling the need to change anything. Any change that you make is coming from a position of self love and power, where it's you choosing yourself. And when you are looking at these parts of you and accepting them, that's how you're choosing and seeing yourself. So it's important to also look into how are you moving when a man shows hesitation? And what does your upgraded certainty, chosen led self do instead? So again, we're going to look into what this is mirroring to you and about your fears of what could happen. And then we're going to look also at how do you move when a man shows hesitation and how does your chosen self, certainty led self, show up instead. Okay? So, all of these pieces, when you bring them together, you are tapping more into the woman that you're meant to be. And also, this goes into the certain AF mindset, which we're starting today. So, I really want you to take this period to really stepping into that. Sorry, the audio cut off. And here's also where you're gonna have to look at where you wait. Where you wait for answers, where you wait for clarity. In what ways are you waiting for clarity? To do what? To decide what? To decide that maybe you want to be with this person, if it's going to be okay. Because here you're still waiting. You can see how this is all this empowerment. This is all waiting for for reality, for SP to lead you and to tell you what to do, right? And that doesn't sound fun. It sounds exhausting. So if you are the woman who doesn't do that anymore, what do you do instead? How do you do that on a daily basis, especially when doubt and fear kicks in? This is where you're going to have to learn your level of embodiment that is required, that is needed. And from there, you're going to be able to create that reality of your dreams. You're going to be able to create that version of you and that identity. So, I'm really excited for this. I want to see your answers, and I will speak to you soon.